Yeah, you can. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Well, you don't really have to yet because I'll get out of the way.
Right.
So, yeah. You can hug me if you want to. Yeah. Show your support. Right?
All right.
All right. We'll get started then. Why you leaving? Oh, you're coming back though. All right, good. My name's Brandon Allen. This is Mitch Spaulding, and we're going to be presenting on solving the InfoSec talent shortage. At least our take on it. As a quick overview of my slides, just kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about. Just going to walk you through sort of where I see things to be, and then what I've done, and Mike has helped me, and Mitch was part of it. What we've done to kind of help do our part for InfoSec in general. So a quick background on me. That's me. I had to embarrass myself a little bit. Again, my name's Brandon Allen. I'm the manager of information security for this facility here, so I'd like to extend a deep thank you for not hacking our network or doing silly things with the displays out there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Shush. And once again, my presentations usually come with a heckler section, which is usually straight back in the back. And on the sides as well, yeah, I'm branching out. I have my degree in electrical engineering from OSU. Just as a background on me, I basically have been in technology like my whole life, right? You know, it's what I did when I was a kid, and in my mom's basement, and here I am. I got out of her basement, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And then Mitch will talk about himself in a little bit. So the main driver of this talk today is that staffing InfoSec is difficult. I got to stay in the cone here. As the manager of information security for Ohio Health, this has been very front and center for me. We've had some losses and we've had to replace them, and it takes time. And even with the time that you spend, you got to ask yourself, you know, what am I getting? I hate to say it because some of them are here, but what am I spending my money on here? You know, and that wasn't against you guys, I swear. But so we have a supply and demand issue, right? Back to the title of the slides here. I'm a little biased, but I say that InfoSec people. First of all, how many people in here are InfoSec professionals? I assume most of the crowd. Not you. You don't count. Okay, how many of you, any of you managers other than me? Not too many? Okay, cool. So you guys, though, hopefully, I'm preaching to you guys. But the rest of you, there's another segment I'm preaching to you. I'll get to that point. But my bottom line is that we're kind of rare. I mean, InfoSec, historically anyway, has been kind of we're like the byproducts of IT. We come up in, mostly anyway, have come up in other branches of IT. I'm looking at some of the older guys in the crowd. You started somewhere else. Maybe it was networking or infrastructure. For me, it was software. I went into Unix admin, and I ended up a manager. How many of us started in InfoSec? And I know some of my newbies in the back row, that's where they started, but that's new, right? That's a brand new thing, and I think it's ramping up. You started in InfoSec. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's still to my point, though, right? I mean, they don't even have a name for it back then. When we were starting out, it was like, yeah. Yeah. Would be when you became a InfoSec expert. Yes, right? Yeah, I mean, never mind. You're derailing me. And so for the managers in the room, we also know that the demand for InfoSec is high. How many people have had their people, well, okay, 2 of you, how many people have had their people poached? I mean, have you, right? You guys? No? Really? You pay well. That's good. No? Yes. That's the other risk of me presenting my team to crowds.
So can I make a point for you?
Yeah. Come on up, man.
Okay, so one of the things that I've noticed, and I get to see a lot of national sites, a lot of places, and never, ever mean, there are a few exceptions.
Yeah.
But by and large, what happens? So let me tell you a story about a place called Los Angeles.
You should probably be mic'd, Mark.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was being loud enough.
Well, for the benefit of our viewers at home. So it's dead or not. I think they're dead, actually. I think they're dead. Right here, mic there. So. This is very impromptu.
And sorry, I'm not trying to steal Brandon's presentation, but the point is, when we go out to certain sites, very rarely do you find the same people. I mean, yes, there's going to be a few percentages, a few percent of people that are going to stick around from year to year. But think about the amount of institutional knowledge capital that is walking out the door every time somebody poaches somebody out of one of these organizations. And this is a national security situation that they get poached from. So are they not being paid enough? Well, maybe, maybe not. Are they not enjoying job satisfaction? Maybe, maybe not. But the point is, yeah, short point. Oh, sharp point, yeah, okay. The point is, attrition is part of our game right now because of the incredibly high demand in information security. And there are places like Visa that have no shame about taking the top talent out of national labs or out of other federal organizations. And frankly, Visa can pay a lot better and give you better bennies.
Yeah, thanks.
Sit down, Kanye.
Yeah, no, he's helpful. You're very supportive, thank you. Chase is kind of the local Visa for us. It's true. It's true. Are you? Never mind. Don't tell me. Oh no. So anyway, I didn't move around enough. I'm sorry, derailed. So we got to be mindful of this, right? We got to know. So Ohio, I'll just share with you, Ohio Health. We try really hard to have a good work-life balance. I think we have a pretty good team. I like to think so. We don't pay top dollar. We don't. We just can't. My execs, my HR team, they won't do it. So for us, if money's your thing, buy, right? We just accept that. So I have some theories about why our salaries are bad, and they're not really like the, oh my God, we're going to be outsourced thing, but maybe, right? And what happens if businesses start considering outsourcing? I mean, who are they outsourcing to? I mean, our enemies maybe, right? I think MSSPs are great, but for those managers in the room, have you been approached by Symantec or Dell SecureWorks or Solutionary, right? Yeah, they're a tool. They serve a purpose, but they're not going to be as good as the people who work and live and breathe inside your organization. There's got to be a balance there. And what I worry about, though, is that as our salaries get on the end of the higher end of crazy, how are we, as a company, how are we going to sustain that? How are we going to be able to continue operating with information security specialists around, the number that we need, whatever that number may be? So that's my concern, and I wish I had, it's just my observations from being in the role. And the bottom one, which Mark already alluded to, employee churn sucks. I mean, Tyler was one of our first case studies in training up newbies. 2 years, doubled his salary. God bless you, man. And that's awesome. I'm really happy for him. I really am. And that's just the reality that I got to deal with. I basically have adapted my program to know that I'm going to cycle people out because that's life. Some other companies, maybe with a higher budget, can pick up. You can be the major leagues to my minor leagues. But we have to recognize that. We have to see that is the reality of our situation for a lot of our companies who can't afford the high-end talent. Yes, Kanye? I have heard that, what was it, Forbes said if you stay longer than 2 years, you're losing money. 2.2 years. Yeah. So I'm tracking a little late on mine, too. So, my solution that I propose to the group is to invest in our newbies. They're our foundation. Let's talk about the next generation. Let's get them going. I am putting my money where my mouth is. I have done this since being in my position here at Ohio Health. We have basically like the minor league training program, essentially, of InfoSec. And I'm not looking for your sharpest tool in the drawer. I want attitude and aptitude. I want people who really want to be there, who want to come in and day out and look at. I used to joke, is Katie in the room? No. So our security awareness lady wanted to come up with a logo for the team. And I had spent a long time on DLP at that point, so forgive me. But I suggested we have an unblinking, ever-gazing eye staring down at a conveyor belt of human refuse. That's DLP. That's what InfoSec was for a while there. I don't know why I brought that one up, but I lost that. But it's like, oh, that's right. We got to have the mindset. We got to have the people that are willing to do that day in and day out. And I think it does kind of take a special mindset to do some of that stuff. So attitude and aptitude are important. You know, it's not always like swordfish or hackers. You can't. It's not cool. Not really. I mean, sometimes, right? But so being able to do that as a career, I don't think everybody's cut out for that necessarily. And so that's where I like to find newbies who are genuinely interested in showing up every day and looking at the same list of offenses in QRadar, like, oh man, again, you know? But they like it. It's fun for them, like it was fun for me. And that's what I want. That's what I want on my team. I just realized now, as I'm talking through this, that I'm basically encouraging you guys to poach for me. Please don't. Assuming you like the fruits of my labor. In general, I'm encouraging you to be a mentor to someone. Don't steal my thunder. Yeah. So my journey so far is to build what I call a path of progression for my team. I want to give them a path to walk on. They don't know where they're going. Like, they're new, right? So I want to get newbies in who I mean, they have to be technically inclined, because you can't just teach. The learning curve is a little too steep, I think, for some people. So you got to find those right people, but teach them. And so for me and for my team, what we have is I require 3 foundational skills and then the CISSP. I figure after that, you should be just about the time at which you can actually sit for the CISSP, because there is a time requirement. So these are things like Linux server, network. For one of my guys, I made it A+ as just a condition of 90-day employment. Like the first 90 days, you got to get it. Prove to me that you can do it. We're going to run through that. We're going to build them up in whatever they want. Now, I'm going to encourage them to try and fill in the gaps where my team needs them to, but if they're genuinely interested in Linux, encourage that. Let's get them to grow into their career. That's what we're doing, is building their career, being mentors to the younger generation. After they've got their CISSP and their 3 foundational skills, they would be ready for, in my team, ready for promotion. So at that point, the title currently is engineer. So they'd be potentially, assuming I had a slot, looking at engineer or going to work for one of the people that's stolen other people from me in the past, Tyler Smith. So things like application security, penetration testing, even GRC. We've got a new team doing GRC, which is new for us. I know in other big organizations it's old hat. This is the first time I have people who are dedicated, focused on GRC. To give you guys an idea, I have 8 people protecting Ohio Health. Just 8. So I'm still proud of that. I know I came from a company that I was the security dude. So, you know, it's a step in the right direction. We have, I just sat through a talk that was talking about investing. It was a very interesting talk. I think it was Adam Hogan. Is that right? Really cool talk on genetics and how it related to malware. And one of the things he basically said that I took away from it was, you have to invest in your people, because if you don't keep moving, if you hold still, you're falling back, is what he was saying. That really resonated with me. You got to keep moving or you will die. And so for us, team training is extremely important, and hopefully everyone sees that. But especially when you're in a program like mine where you're training newbies, you know, training is a must. You have to have it. And then I also have some senior engineers and an architect, Mike, in the background, who's been very helpful at mentoring. I'm going to be sad when he leaves, but invaluable, right? So you got to have that because I have a relatively new bench, you got to have a couple of those seasoned professionals to help, because I can't always be around to mentor. And like I said, I put my money where my mouth is. I did hire 2 newbies this year, and I had an intern. So he's going to talk here in a little bit. So this is my challenge to you in the room. For those of you who are in our industry and have been here for a while, feel pretty comfortable, find someone to mentor. 1 or 2 people. Set that as a goal for yourself. Please find somebody who's new to the industry or genuinely interested in getting into the industry. Make them your mentor. Let them know. Set their expectations. I will be mentoring you. Make that a priority today, please. We need it. We just don't have enough skill in our industry. We got to have it. If you're a newbie, do the opposite, right? Hunt someone down. You get to know them. Go to ISSA meetings. Go to conferences like now. Get in there and volunteer. Find that guy you want, or guy or gal that you want to work with, and approach them. You know, once you've built a rapport, hopefully they're cool with that. So this is one of my most extreme test subjects, Mitch Spaulding. Mitch was our summer intern, and I got to say, it's extremely humbling to watch a 15-year-old nail something that you're proud of doing. You know what I mean? Like, you think you can do it great, and then he just does it. Like, oh, that's one of my... Okay, and he's a high school student, right? So I'm going to let Mitch talk for a little while.
Yeah, all right. Hey, guys. I'm Mitch Spaulding. I'm a sophomore at St. Charles Preparatory, great school. And this whole internship was a great experience for me. I really liked it. And, yeah. Before going into this internship, I was really intimidated. I didn't know what to expect because I had zero training, I'm obviously familiar with a couple of, keys and stuff on the Mac, but, nothing like QRadar or DLP, I was also very nervous coming in because I didn't know what to expect, at a place like Ohio Health. I didn't know how to interact with, others, coworkers. I didn't know how that was going to be. And also I was giving up my summer to some extent. My friends, they would work at fast food restaurants, make some money, and I'm in here getting zero money, and then just learning, basically getting paid in knowledge. And yeah, so wasn't the best, but, and then, I didn't know if I was going to be accepted by everyone else, and that was really struggling for me, because I'm a high school student, it's part of high school, being accepted by your peers, right? So during the internship, I was really surprised by, the kindness and gratitude everyone showed to me. It was great to be a part of a team, with Brandon. It was amazing, and I learned so much about the tech, InfoSec world. I can apply to future internships and jobs, possibly. And then, part of working as an internship at Ohio Health, you get to go out to lunch with your coworkers. And so I got to learn proper business etiquette and what to do at a lunch meeting with vendors and, other workers. And while I was interning, I got experience with QRadar, Qualys, and Symantec, as well as DLP to some extent. Obviously I can't see everything on DLP because I am 15 years old. Another highlight of my internship was I got to go on I got to take Shane McDougall's advanced OSINT class with Tyler and Brandon and my dad. It was really cool to see, all the stuff you can do, and just, using simple apps like Google, Twitter, Facebook, all that. After the internship, a lot of, opportunities opened up to me. I had a few part-time job offers through LinkedIn, but because I do go to St. Charles, I wasn't able to do them because of just schoolwork. It's just too strenuous. And then also, I was offered more internships, so I was really excited about that as well. Then a couple of universities reached out to me, about future studies in computer sciences and engineering as well. And they also said, why I should go to their university and study there. Some of the highlights of my internship were I learned that people you least expect will show up on DLP. Learned that just by, looking through, seeing my dad, or my friend's dad on there. It was interesting. While using QRadar, I stopped a couple foreign attacks on, something as simple as a hospital. And, I helped protect Ohio Health's infrastructure, I think. And, while, working on QRadar as well, I spent most of my time on QRadar because just, I'm not allowed access to DLP. But, I was monitoring the wireless network, and I found something really just impacting the company. And I was able to put a stop to it because I reported it to it was Rich, and they were able to get on it. And I was really proud of myself to be able to do something like that. I think that's it. Yeah.
So, I think it's really interesting to point out that having this new, fresh perspective on things helps us too. We're able to, in that case, Mitch found something that my team had overlooked because we see it every single day. It was just slightly different. Yeah, as probably some of you know, detection rates do drop over time, and you got to get a new set of eyes on the tool. So we try rotation, but also just getting new people in helps. Another thing is I have no idea how he learned proper lunch etiquette because my team is unruly as you can get, but I think he's being nice.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we did keep him out of the DLP sections that you shouldn't see. But so relatively quick talk. I was kind of hoping we could have Q&A or thoughts.
Get into a place and think, well, that's stupid. Why are we doing it that way? And they say, well, that's how we've always done it. That is the worst possible reason for doing something. Mitch, you undoubtedly provide a fresh perspective. And although I go round and round with my teenage daughter around college, I actually have to confess that she does see the world the way that it should be, not the way it is. And after 20 or 30 years, we lose that perspective. On that point, I'm probably too much. Question from Mitch: how did you get started? When you were looking for internship on
Yeah, sorry.
Well, my father being a employer at Ohio Health, I was able to get familiar with like the people and.
So we knew Mitch before you ever joined, really.
Yeah.
But that's actually something to mention. I always worry about liability, right? But Mitch's dad already assumes the liability for Mitch and is already part of the team. So it was a way I kind of squeaked things in. So that's not something I'll be able to do all the time. But yeah.
Just to point out to Mitch, volunteering your time over the summer, you very well may have put yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars above your price.
Right.
Don't worry about their job at the college.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It will not compare.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
You go out of high school and $50,000. You're going to do that 4 years later after $100,000 debt in college.
Right.
Well, I've talked to his dad, and some of the I don't know what the etiquette is on this, but I know that some of the colleges that have come after Mitch are like you know, people would kill to get their kid into that college. It's awesome, you know, and very valuable. Yeah.
So I find this presentation really interesting because I'm kind of the big part of this right now. I mean, I'm 25, so I'm new in the future, right? So I wanted to do IT when I graduated high school in 2008.
Yep.
And I was like you, I wanted to do that, right? And all my friends were working life after the job, and it was really hard for me to break into IT, and I couldn't like really find a way to do it. Even back then, I couldn't like get into it. Right? So it was hard. So first of all, this is a really good opportunity for you. And it, you know, you're like, I'm not getting paid. My friends are making money. Forget it, because the experience will take you places that you can't even think of right now. And for me, I didn't even get the internship step until college, and that was just talking to professors. And that's where you're going to find a lot of that knowledge. I mean, I didn't really know like job boards or anything like it's really kind of word of mouth. And you have to pay attention to that because sometimes the opportunities are in the weirdest places through 2 or 3 people that you know, and you just find it. Like an IT job in college that I had for 4 years, I got because the dude who lived in the room next to me was like, "Yo, we're playing all these viruses and we need more help."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I went in one day and then I worked for them for 4 years and I made like 10 grand during college. Like that's the kind of stuff that happens. And I mean, colleges coming after you, yeah. There's plenty of universities that have good computer science or MIS, or business school, or even like places like RIT in New York that have an information security specific program. Security, like I had one security class in college. It's still kind of rare. I mean, the whole CS thing might be a little different, but I was kind of business school, so it didn't really, you know, it's a lot of compliance. But I think, and as far as finding the talent pool, so I'm on the anti-DDoS team for data partnerships, right? So we're like defending the big stuff. And I've been doing it for like 8 months.
Yeah.
I walked in, I don't have A+ because it didn't require right college anymore for working. So I'm in there, and I did desktop support for like 4 years in college, and then I'm doing this. So you walk in and you see all these network engineers that have been there for 10 or 15 years, and they're all like Cisco guys, and they're all Microsoft guys, and you're just intimidated to be in the same room with them and ask them like what IPv6 is. In my experience, like just don't worry about it because they're gonna know that we got this young guy in here. You know, that's how you fill talent. And I think I've heard, you know, if you can't buy it, you got to build it.
Yep.
So, you know, there's some statistic like unemployment for information security personnel is negative. The average job goes up until like 18 months minimum.
Right.
So you have to start somewhere with that knowledge. And I didn't even have my A+. I just went straight to like Net Plus, and I'm taking Sec Plus next month. I did a SANS course last week randomly because it was whatever, go do it. So,
Yep.
I mean, I think you're doing everything right, but I also like the presentation because I'm literally doing that. I think it's working out really well. And my boss is a really good boss as well as he mentor.
Yeah.
So I echo everything that's going on.
Thanks. Yeah, I really just the whole idea of this. I don't think I necessarily. I'm like preaching to the choir, right? I mean, in this room, does anyone not get it, right? I appreciate you sitting here and listening to me, though, and I want to encourage that conversation just to share knowledge. But we all know, like you said, that this is happening. We don't have enough people to go around, and I just really want to encourage everybody to be a mentor, to reach out or to help out with individuals that are starting up. It's something I think it's easy for us to forget that there are other people out there that need us. Go ahead.
So kind of following along the theme that I was up front and mentioned about putting fresh eyes or new perspective on things, I think that's definitely important.
Yeah.
But Mitch, from your perspective, you know, I think that it's easy for us to say kind of what we want in a role or what a friend wants in an engineer or what he's looking for. But what's something that you would say to somebody at your age or at the college level to say, here's what makes information security an exciting career to be in, or here's what would appeal to you if you're of this certain mindset? What would you say to them in terms of like why you like to take this job?
Well, I would start off with the opportunities that InfoSec gives you. Because it's an internship, you know, like everyone else has said, you know, I wouldn't have these opportunities that I have with universities and, you know, possible job opportunities because of this internship. It's really amazing just to even be a part of this right now. This, it's a big business right now. It's becoming bigger, and it's great, to be a part of this. Yeah.
Something that came to mind earlier was I think when you were sharing with your experience. Sorry, it wouldn't come out. It really is. We all hear the phrase, "It's not what you know, but who you know," and that is so true. Definitely at the higher levels, but then also at the lower levels. Go to the ISSA meetings and sit at a table and say, "Hi, I'm Brandon Allen. Nice to meet you." Get to know people. Just chat them up. That helped me out tremendously when I was starting out in InfoSec. And I'm you probably can't tell because I'm kind of an introvert. I really am. This is just something I've gotten used to. And I'll probably go sit in a quiet, dark room later and recharge. But got to make yourself get out there. And because once you make those friends, those are the people that'll get you those opportunities, just like you were saying. Yeah.
So how many of you are hiring managers?
It was 4 of us total. Well, I'm not counting.
So how many of you people would rather hire the brightest guy or the guy who can get along with somebody in a team and is never going to stop? Which one do you pick?
Depends on what you need. Yeah, I think it does.
See, I would actually argue that if you have somebody who's social
Yeah.
and persistent, that is a much better fit in most cases,
I would agree with that statement.
with the possible exception of malware versus G.
Exactly. See, it depends on what you need, right? Did you have a comment?
Just a question about school.
Yeah.
Mitch, I don't know if you're still last school.
Yes.
Do you have any opportunity in St. Charles to study this?
I do not.
And at the college level, this is a question for anybody in the room, are there any schools that post-secondary that offer a decent information security program? I'm not computer science. Sorry? That's one. What's point?
Yeah.
But if you go outside of the military, you cannot find a good program. We've got computer science,
Right.
which is great for theoretical applications and engineering positions, has little, if anything, to do with what we do day to day.
Yeah.
And an MIS program, you might get some of that with a blend of the business and the tech.
Right.
But it's not security. I mean, it's like one security class.
They're going to teach you more about, it's more about auditing and compliance. It's not about
Not SecOps, not any of those.
Yeah. Have you seen WGU? Have you guys ever heard of WGU? Western Governors University? It's an online university. I'm like a sales guy now. I feel like that. It's an online university that I think 17 governors came together and created this online school. It's an accredited school, but it's what I like about it is competency based. So you can take as much or as little as you can sustain, and you don't pass until you literally pass. So you can't just pass with a D. You got to actually. But if you can crank through 5 classes in a quarter because you can process through the material that fast, good for you. It's a flat rate per semester. Pretty cool system, and I do have a friend of mine who got a degree in InfoSec from them.
What's the name of it?
Western Governors University.
The reality is, though, no matter what you're going to do from a healthy perspective, you have to say,
Yeah. Well, and admittedly, when he came out, it almost seemed like the world's largest collection of certifications, and then they connected the dots, But that's cool. Whatever gets you there, I guess. And I know a lot of HR departments, that's just what they want to see is that piece of paper, and it's it's a keyword match, right? It's just a recognition of our system, but that's where it's not what you know, but who you know comes in, right? Tyler in the back of the room, I threatened him I'd call these guys out. I hired him, December 1st was your first day. Tyler's dad works in IT, but not in InfoSec. And he came to me and said, would you be interested in shadowing my son? Well, I like mentoring. And sure, yeah, no problem. I found a day where I wasn't real busy, and he came in and didn't run screaming, right? We didn't freak him out. And, really loved him. So 3-4 months later, I had a vacancy on my team because someone doubled their salary. And I went to look for, I just keep calling you out, don't I? I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. And so I called Tyler up, and he was one of like 20 people I interviewed. It was kind of arduous, but turns out my team, to your point, I made sure that every one of the candidates that got through my filtering sat with my entire team because I wanted to make sure that they liked this person. It's critical, forget it, dude. It was critical that we had a good fit. You got to have those good personalities or life is miserable, right? We don't want to go there, so.
So, Brent, some of the things you're talking about are things I haven't seen in any body of material. So the concept of mentoring is an excellent, powerful concept. The concept that you had up there about here's your career path for advancement.
Yeah.
Here's the next level. I mean, I know a lot of hackers that are gamers as well. If we know how to beat the boss,
Right.
that's a good way to start motivating. And have you given any consideration to just putting up a very simple website to help match interns and that?
I had thought about, I wasn't really planning on talking about that, but I had thought about apprenticeship, right? Like literally you can map your lineage, so to speak. How cool would that be? Maybe it would, yeah. So, thanks, Mark.
New researchers bring out new people who are competent at this stuff. It's absolutely vital. I mean, the number I've heard was negative 30%.
That's rough.
The fill rate.
Yeah.
Negative 30%, meaning what? 1 out of 4 or 5 positions is, sorry. I think 1 out of 3 positions effectively is going unfilled or is being minimized because of the non-availability of personnel.
Mike? I'm sorry, Mark.
I got a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
What was your most favorite portion of the internship and what was your least favorite portion?
Well, starting off with my least favorite, waking up, at 7 a.m. During the summer isn't the best thing, but the best part is just the knowledge I learned. It's really amazing. The power, that Ohio Health and Brandon's given me is really great. So,
Was there anything you liked in particular? Like any knowledge that you learned?
QRadar and DLP.
Does everyone know what QRadar is? Everyone says SIM.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a IBM product.
And cyber combat with them.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into that yet.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was the free labor. I really. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. We like free. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? Seriously?
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry. So it's an IBM. You know what a SIM is? Security event monitor. It takes in all the logs and it bubbles the anomalies up to the top. So it is actually everything. Yeah, pretty much everything. Yeah, yeah. We're in the terabytes. Not too bad. So we're actually switching, just for arguments, or just for discussion's sake, we're switching over to Splunk Enterprise Security, away from QRadar. But not that QRadar is a bad product. Really good. If there's any IBM guys in here, sorry. It's a great product. It's just a commodity product. It does that one thing very well, but we want to do more than just that one thing, so that's why we're switching. Anyone else? Any thoughts? Thank you for the discussion, by the way, because my slides did run a little more short than I thought. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks. Nothing? All right, thank you. Thank you.